What is up, my good people? This is the Mega Bull. And I was messing around with some fractals yesterday, just trying to see if I could find anything similar to what's happening now. And lo and behold, I found something. Now, it's basically played out since 2021 over here. Um, but I thought it'd be interesting to show you guys. Now, we'll see how it plays out, but it's very, very similar to what we're seeing happen with Bitcoin right now. And let's see here. So it's on the Dixie US dollar currency index. And check this out. So it started over here, right? Okay, you guys see this? There's the three tops, right? Then there's the bottom. Then we get, it kind of staggers here a little bit, it has like two peaks, drops down, comes down, and retraces, okay? So we see right now currently in Bitcoin, we did that second drop, didn't go as low as this, but it's ranging around here somewhere. And if you look at Bitcoin, look what you get. You see that stagger right here. You see the, this ranging right here. You have the drop, you have the stagger, you have the two peaks. Then you come down, right? You go up, come down again, and we'll see if we keep going up. So I think this is an interesting pattern. It's not the same, but it's been following it pretty close since last year, 2021. So we'll keep an eye on that. Anyways, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this thing. Tony Valentino came out with this, and he's been someone that has come and gone dropping messages. Now, who knows who this person is? It could just be someone random. But anyways, today Tranglo announced the news. They said, "We're thrilled to announce today that we've enabled Ripple's on-demand liquidity across all our payment corridors. This comes after a successful pilot of ODO deployment last September, which saw 250,000 transactions worth $48 million processed in 100 days." And he says, "MoneyGram was the real test. Tranglo was the first domino. Only one blockchain has returned zero error in 10 years. Only one blockchain was designed to replace Swift. The banks won't change the vehicle, they will only upgrade the engine. XRP will power Swift 2.0. And you see how Swift went to Swift GPI, right? And you're able to track all your messages and see things done real time, but it still wasn't real time settlement. So Swift has tried to upgrade some of their things, but the mechanism behind it hasn't changed. And could it be that XRP will come and be that mechanism that will be inserted? And I think there's a lot of talk right now with the Swift financial system, and I think it's worth noting. I showed you guys this in the last video, but Russia was testing the Ripple network back in 2018. And based on the research results, it was concluded that the Ripple platform can be considered as the basis for starting work on creating a system of cross-border settlements. And it says the use for XRP transfers or equivalents of fiat currencies issued by each participant, the national bank, right? The determination of a mechanism for reconciling balances between Ripple participants and the national payment system. And it goes on and on and on. The fact of the matter is, they were testing the Ripple network. And this is in 2018. Here is something that I was going to tie into, because once you start implementing XRP into the Swift system, and if it does become Swift 2.0, now you start talking about CBDCs, right? Because you heard that central banks were piloting on the side ledgers their own CBDCs on a private ledger, right? And if you see XRP get implemented into Swift or whatever, however it happens, it'll be interesting to see how CBDCs follow suit. But what's interesting to me is that if we see Russia or any of these BRICS nations sidestep the Swift payment system and they start using Bitcoin in order to conduct some of their transactions, you'll see a massive, you'll see this accelerate, which Christine Lagarde says, she's the head of the European Central Bank, that she wants quick action on crypto regulation following Russian sanctions. If you see one of these BRICS nations start utilizing any kind of crypto to facilitate their payments from one to another so they can still do trade or whatever the case may be, you're going to see this accelerate on a level you haven't seen before. You've already seen the global tax get set up, and I think that was one of the dominoes that had to fall in order for this whole thing to work. So that's already set up. All you need is a framework for, CBDCs and how it's gonna, how international law is gonna affect this. I think we're getting very, very close, and it could be. I'll be honest with you that if these CBDCs are implemented, yeah, they may be using the underlying protocols from these digital cryptocurrencies, but at the end of the day, they're gonna control a lot of everything, and it could be a very, very dark, scary time. Here we see Tony Valentino, and this is they're talking about a digital currency war simulation in November of 2019. And interesting enough, we see that we see how this can happen right now. And just like they rehearsed, the whole pandemic with Event 201, they've also had other simulations, right? For cyber attacks, right? Cyber Polygon was one of them. There was another one that included 10 nations in the event that a cyber pandemic would hit. Check this out.
Are you suggesting that we can't do this alone as the U.S. government, that we don't have the ability?
That's exactly the question we should ask the Secretary of the Treasury. Secretary Summers, does Treasury have the capability and technical know-how to successfully implement a digital dollar?
The answer is that the SWIFT system is an interbank system. You cannot meaningfully work on an interbank system without working with the private sector. Right now, we have one network that doesn't work very well. The worst idea in the world would be to now try to have two, SWIFT and some other separate cyber project. We have this under control. We've got a public sector-led team with the relevant private sector actors that is hardening SWIFT. And a hard SWIFT that will be secure has to be our first priority.
Option, we have to think about implementation.
We will have a new hardened currency SWIFT system ready to roll out 6 months from today.
Are you willing to bet your job on it?
Dang. So he says we have the new system 6 months. Well, we have it ready 6 months from today in that simulation. So the fact that they're saying that gives you a lot of pause, because it's a possibility that it could come down to the line. And what are we in? It's about to be March, right? We know the we know that in November of 2022, there's a huge deadline where a lot of these countries and payment systems are merging over to the ISO standard, right? ISO 20022 standard. So that's going to be interesting. But nevertheless, they've been practicing for this. It's been in the works, and it's unfolding right before your own eyes. And like he said, XRP will power Swift 2.0. Now, this is interesting. Here, I think they're, however coincidental it may seem, they could be priming people for what's going to be Ripple headlining global news.
When we come back, we will talk much more about Swift and the ripple effects throughout the global financial system with Wells Fargo's bill.
The ripple effects across the global financial system. Here is a clip by a digital asset investor, and I thought this specific part was very telling and relevant to what we're talking about right now.
Correspondent banking, it was built decades ago. It hasn't really evolved. It's based upon swift messaging between correspondent banks. The cost of supporting that infrastructure, frankly, has gone up. One of the things that changed after the financial crisis of 2009, 2010, it used to be if the Bank of Dan and the Bank of Brad wanted to do cross-border transactions, we'd have what's called Nostro Vostro accounts. It used to be that when I put cash at the Bank of Dan, that counted positively towards my capital ratio. After that financial crisis, we decided that trusting other deposits at other banks may not be as trustworthy as we thought. And so now it doesn't count. And so banks have contracted. The correspondent banking relationships have gone down by 50% in the last 15 years. Yet global cross-border transactions continue to grow. So our view is, look, these are technologies from decades ago. We can upgrade them with today's technology, with internet-based technologies, and make this real-time transactions. You do a SWIFT transaction.
And there you have it. So if you put all the pieces together, you'll see that it's one heck of a story and plot that is coming together. And this is to change the global financial system as we know it. So, whoever Tony Valentino is, even if it's just a regular person, right? Doesn't have to be someone who knows anything. He's onto something. And I think with all the information that's out there, it's very easy to see how this could happen. So if you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. Help the channel. Appreciate you guys supporting. This is the Mega Bull Experience, and I'll see you in the next one.